This is Big Shot TV YouTube channel. Please don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe.
We're joined today by a former West Brom academy player who also spent time with Callery before becoming a professional at Peterborough United. His journey through different football cultures gives real insight into what it takes to make it into the game. I appreciate you coming here, Kobe. For people who don't know you yet, who are you?
I'm Jae Chong, 24-year-old professional, somebody who's have a lot of insight, a lot of different experiences in the game, outside the game, but that's who I am.
All right then. Did you say you're 24?
Yeah.
And where are you from?
Bang.
Okay, what's your background?
So my background is my parents, my dad's side are Chinese Malaysian, and my mum's side is Jamaican, but we were all born in England. So
okay, you were born in England.
Yeah.
British. Okay then. Yeah. How would you describe your football journey in one sentence?
My football journey in one sentence, I'll probably describe it as a learning experience.
Okay.
But something that's matured me and shaped me to the person that I am today.
You started playing football at 3 years old. How did that even happen?
So my mum obviously wanted to take me to do different things. And then I went to a local leisure centre, which is where I met one of my first coaches. And I was younger than everybody else at the time. So I was training with guys who were like 7, 8, 9 years old.
Yeah.
But just learning the touches and stuff. And it was something that I did most days after school, and then going from there on to where I am now.
Yeah. What do you remember about those early days at the leisure centre?
What I remember about those days is obviously getting there and people thinking, why is this kid here? Like, he's too young. And my mum just, watching me play and stuff, and the coach who used to let me train, even though I probably shouldn't have been because I was too young. But that's mainly my memories from those days.
Yeah, you mentioned that you played with kids that are around 7 to 8 years old. How were you against them?
I think from the memory in my head, I didn't get too involved in terms of contact training because I was still young, but I was doing a lot of technical stuff, but I always wanted to get involved. A very charismatic kid, a lot of energy.
Yeah, were you always ahead technically compared to the other kids?
I would probably say at 3 years old, probably not, but as I started to develop more into my older child ages, then I became technically more advanced than others, yeah.
Yeah. All right, and you also played futsal for a few years.
Yeah.
How did that shape you as a player?
I think futsal shaped me very well as a player, because I got to learn how to manipulate the ball better than others, which is why I'd say my technical ability is quite high. And it's helped me learn how to play a lot of football on the floor as well.
Yeah. Do you think futsal gave you an edge technically compared to other players?
Yeah, 100%, especially when I was younger as well. And people weren't as developed. I was always ahead in terms of technical ability. But it was when I went into the professional game where I had to learn more tactical stuff.
And how old were you at this time when you was playing futsal?
I probably started playing futsal, I'd probably say around 6 or 7.
Yeah.
And then I've played futsal up until I was, off the top of my head, till about 17, 18.
Okay. And at that age, did football already feel like your thing, or was it just fun?
I'd probably say at 3, it was probably just my thing. No, sorry, at 3, it was probably just for fun. And then when I got to I played 7, 8, 9, then it started becoming very serious.
Okay. And when did West Brom first come into the picture?
West Brom came into the picture when I was around 9 years old.
Yeah.
So one of the scouts who's recently just passed away, Steve Hopcroft,
okay.
He spotted me at the futsal. So there used to be a futsal arena in Birmingham, which is near Nechells. And I used to play there with the Futsal Brasilia team, which is an academy that my dad and a few of his friends made. And then he spotted us, and then we used to play friendlies against West Brom and other academies in the Dome. Do you know the Dome at West Brom? Yeah.
Dome, yeah.
And then he would come to my house and try and get me to sign and stuff, and that's kind of how I got into West Brom.
How old was you? Did you mention that?
Yeah, probably 9, 10 years old.
9, 10 years old, okay. And what did it feel like telling your family you signed for a Premier League football club? At the time, they were Premier League, weren't they?
My parents were quite involved at that age, so I think they did a lot of the signing bits and made most of the decisions really. I didn't really have a choice on where I was going. It was more my parents at that age. So
Okay. All right then. And what was academy life like day to day? Can you talk to me through the schedule of how it was?
yeah, obviously it was quite a while ago in terms of West Brom, but when I was that age, you'd obviously be at school every day. And then you'd do sessions on the evening, I think 2-3 times a week.
Yeah.
And then from what I can recall, on a Thursday or Friday, you do day release, which is where you leave school at like 1 o'clock and then you go and train at the academy. And then you play obviously on a Saturday.
Did you train every single day?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And did you feel like you belonged there at the time?
I'd probably say no, because I was still a futsal player.
Okay.
And I wasn't as developed or tactically aware as the other players. So I probably did have a bit of imposter syndrome at the time. But as I kind of got a bit older, then I developed into a better player, which helped. But yeah, I'd probably say I didn't feel.
Can you tell me about the professionalism and the way you had to carry yourself at such a young age?
Yeah, I think at that age, my dad was very involved. So a lot was kind of off his methods, really. But obviously you've got to eat right, you've got to train hard, you've got to be mentally strong, you've got to face a lot of disappointments. Those are the things I'll probably say.
In the academy, how intense was the competition?
The competition was very intense. I was with an age group with a lot of talented players who have gone on to do quite well. So yeah, it was very competitive. Like, I thought I was good at the time, but it was a bit of a rude awakening when I went there.
Okay. And what was the difference with the players? Like, what changed? What was the difference between you and the players that made you feel like you were at the same level?
I think I was still used to being the main player and the futsal player who takes a lot of touches and dribbles a lot, whereas they had already learnt when and how to pass the ball and when's the right time and diagonal passes and, you know, stuff that kind of comes into your game at a later age. They had it already boxed off, so I had to learn how to develop very quickly.
Yeah. And what would you say was your best attributes that you had that made you a special player? Would you say it was passing, vision, or your dribbling?
I think confidence, dribbling, skills, ball manipulation.
Yeah. They're the top three that you would say?
Yeah.
Okay. And when playing and going for the years, did you feel like the club generally had a place for you, a plan for you?
So I was there for up to 2 years at West Brom. I felt like when I first went in, they did. I feel as time went on, I didn't develop as fast as I probably should have, which led to kind of, they have an 11 who were kind of the prioritized players and then another 11 who were kind of players they're kind of making decisions on and can they get to that next level, which near the latter stages of me being there, I was probably in the second team, but then I started to improve. But yeah.
Yeah. And when you got released, how did that conversation go?
I think it was quite straightforward, really, because I actually wasn't at the club for the last 2 months of my registration there because my dad accepted a trial offer in another country. So it was pretty much expected, to be honest.
So you seen it coming?
I'd probably say so, yeah, because my dad didn't make the club aware of anything that was going on, and it's not really a professional way to act, really. So
your dad didn't like the way that was going on?
I wouldn't say he was fond of it, but I wouldn't say he wasn't happy. It's more of a thing where he's always used to me being kind of the number one player. So
yeah,
some people don't know how to act in those situations.
And how did that affect your confidence?
I think it knocked my confidence because I couldn't really get up to the levels that I felt were required. And obviously having a dad who's quite pushy and kind of lives football through you, then yeah, it can become a lot of pressure.
Yeah. Was there a moment where you've questioned yourself during this time?
Yeah, when I was at West Brom, I think, like I said, I didn't really feel like I belonged there, so my confidence was very easily knocked. But that's